Yes? This one is delicate, but the payout is significant. Your job is to eliminate one of the Republic's worst traitors, Joe Frost. A few years ago, Joe was working as a high-level technician in an intelligence agency. His specialty was in surveillance equipment, to be specific. He discovered that a rogue element in the agency was unlawfully monitoring citizens in the hopes of rooting out Frumentarii. Instead of reporting this to his superiors up the chain of command, Frost decided to leak the program and any pertinent intelligence to the press. This has been a public relations nightmare for the Republic. But, more importantly, divulging that intelligence has endangered our troops. He released secret troop movements, plans, and other highly sensitive information. All the Frumentarii had to do was pick up the damn newspaper. Unwilling to abide by the law and face a fair trial, Frost absconded like a coward. We've been fruitlessly searching for him, until now. I have it on good authority that he's staying at the Frost Hill Hotel. I want you to discreetly terminate him, preferably with no witnesses. Do you have any questions? When 2 platoons of troopers are ambushed and massacred because of the leak, that's when. Frost's sedition has gotten men killed. Good luck then.
Howdy.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
What do you want? Even here, out in this frozen hole, the Republic still finds me. It was bound to happen, I just didn't expect it here of all places. I bet it was Brookshire. It was, wasn't it? Wickham wouldn't go for this. Clark is too stupid to find me. No, it has to be Brookshire. That slime. I did their dirty work for years, tapping phone lines and helping them spy on regular citizens. This war, it made them compromise our principles. This isn't the Republic I learned about in school. Tandy wouldn't have stood for this. The people had a right to know. Are you so blind that you can't see what's happening? They're just using you right now, and soon enough, you'll be discarded. Good to know that my very life or death will be determined by your moral compass. This truly is the worst of all possible worlds.
Howdy! I won't dance around the truth like some of these folks. I was a raider back in my youth, and a nasty one at that. Now, I ain't exactly proud of that, but I ain't ashamed either. It was a sure way to survive, not to mention steady access to poontang. Notions of morality and even self-preservation tend to pale in comparison to such matters when you're a young man. Enough years go by, and you start to slow down, though. Take a few bullets, and you're slower still. Unless you're chief, getting old and raiding don't mix. After I damn near got my nuts cut off over a bottle of whiskey, I called it quits. Been here for almost 30 years now. I remember when Pop Jameson ran this shop, sold some mean meat pies. Town had been in place for at least a few decades when I came up here. Rumor was that cannibals started it, but I never saw anything like that. Most of them are ruthless bastards, cutthroats out for a quick handful of caps. Not much better than raiders, really. They just act legitimate. How'd you get caught up in that business, anyhow? You don't seem like a bad gal, but then again, maybe I'm not a good judge of character anymore. Ain't that life in a nutshell? Shit, we got people giving us rules and tasks from day one. Ain't no meaning to it half the time. All I ask is that you remember that not all of us is bad, you hear? Everybody makes mistakes, and we all pay for it in the end. Sometimes that little voice in your noggin is worse than any hangman's noose, believe you me. You just remember that. Hell yes, you could solve my rat problem. They done taken over the entire goddamn floor, and there's one monster rat that's running the show. He's a big greasy fucker with gnarled teeth and evil eyes, like some hell-spawned vermin of the night. A few months back, I went up there to clean the rats out with a shovel. You know, bashing their brains out. It's kind of fun sometimes. Anyway, I'm smashing and bashing, and out of nowhere this mutant bastard comes charging. If I hadn't had that shovel, he'd have bit my leg off. He was big as a goddamn attack dog. I gave him a good whack on the noggin, and he just glared and flashed them shitty fangs. I took it upon myself to make a tactical retreat, sealed up that whole floor. I'm ashamed to say that the Rat King has licked me for the time being. If you can slay that critter, I'll give you the whole upstairs for as long as you're here. I'll clean the place up, of course. What do you say? I could have just hired Big Tim for this kind of dough. Just make sure it gets done. Howdy! That is great news. You just stay put. I'll have that place cleaned up in no time. Howdy! Little bit of trading with caravans, but it's mostly bighorners. They do better up in this climate. Tend to have tastier meat for some reason. The weather can be tough on folks at first, seeing as to how it's a big shock. You get used to it though. Hell, I've come to prefer it. It's too cold for death claws and any badass bugs like cazadors. I say fuck those things to whatever hell they came from. My bones might ache a little more, and the mornings are uncomfortable, but at least I won't get stung to death by those fucking devil wasps. When you're young and wild, it's a damn enjoyable lifestyle. Drink, fuck, party all the time. You might die going after a caravan, but fuck it. I ain't proud of everything I done, but it was all we knew. Most were orphans or rejects who had enough balls to fight for a meal. Today you got crazies like the fucking Hades, the Whitelegs, and the Claws, all bloodthirsty lunatics killing everyone they see. Ridiculous. He came in from the east, which is more than a little unusual. Only had a few scouts with him, but I could tell he meant business. Marco didn't cause no fuss, though. Just got himself a shack near the old graveyard and minded his own business. He'd come into town and buy supplies every week. Always paid up front, was polite to everyone. After a while, we just figured he had started over like the rest of us. We all heard stories of things he'd done, but who knows what's true. When word came about all that business down in the Mojave, with you killing Sergio and all, Marco changed. He was restless. More of his old buddies started showing up and camping in the hills. Only reason they didn't cause trouble is because they feared Marco. Not long after that, Randall rolled in with a pack of bounty hunters and some NCR suit funding them. The canyon has become a fucking war zone since. Ain't gonna happen. No way in hell. Most of us still have bounties, and even if we get amnesty, NCR would still use it to void our property rights. NCR wants one thing: silver. I heard they had money problems since somebody ruined their gold, so they're after the next best thing. To the NCR, we're just an impediment, nothing more. They'll fuck us with a bear dick while they rob us blind. Won't even think twice about it. All right, then.
What do you need?
Do what you will. I'm done.
Motherfucker.
Yes? That little bastard has a sixth sense, I swear it. You wouldn't believe how many times he slipped through our fingers. We'll get him another time. I'm afraid that's everything I have at present. Stick with Randall if you're looking for more work. Yes?